no cheese. In the club, we throw G's, stacking blue hundreds with more. I make it rain. She my lady, yeah, yeah. Just for the night. She sit on the pipe, yeah, yeah. And she off them blue chips, shorty too thick. I'm a new chick, just a fling. Soon as we hit goals, then it's lift off, then we do some other things. She my lady, pull up in my set. She wanna ride, as long as she wet, long as she ain't crazy, yeah, yeah. Come be my love, aye. If she play cool, we gonna ride, we gonna ride. I'm a trip of Japan, trip of Japan, yeah, yeah. Stacking his yen, stacking his yen, yeah, yeah. We go way up, flow tees, yo man getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's, stacking blue hundreds with more. I'm getting kicked, baby, I'm serious. It's not a game, these boys are delirious. I know you hearing this, fearing this. Waiting to go for the top, you would think I'm a tyrant. And I don't trip, girl, I just grind. She feel attached, girl, you just mine. She said it's too fat, girl, you just fine. So why not let chill in Japan for the time? We in a wave, think she's space. She see the stars, I'm up in the way. She hides my phone, yeah, my cherry blossom. If they try to play, baby, I got 'em. I'm a trip of Japan, trip of Japan, yeah, yeah. Stacking his yen, yeah, yeah. We go way up, flow tees, yo man getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's, stacking blue hundreds with more. Trip of Japan, yeah, yeah. Stacking his yen, yeah, yeah. We go way up, flow tees, yo man getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's, stacking blue hundreds with more ease, yeah.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Hello, and I guess excuse me because I'm feeling a little bit jacked up. I was just listening to a little bit of Zach Bryan getting ready for the day. Folks, I know you normally come here for the classic Matt Kohrs show where we rank and discuss our favorite sharks. But today I was thinking we could switch it up a little bit. If it's cool with you, instead of doing our normal fish-based discussion, I was hoping maybe we talk a little bit about global politics, U.S. politics, the economy, stock market, and active trading. I know many of you are going to be bummed out by this. Every single time you come here, you're like, but Matt, I'd really just like to pitch my case for why tiger sharks are the best form of shark. Others of you might be like, hang on, man, are we talking about prehistoric megalodons? And others of you might be like, but what about the speedy lemon sharks, tiger sharks? And I get it. I get it. But maybe once in a while, we just take a little bit of a different path. The path less traveled by and get into the world of the geopolitical situation, the U.S. presidential election, the overall stock market, the overall economy, and maybe some of our favorite individual equities to trade. A little bit of a degeneracy. I get it. Hammerhead sharks. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not saying I'm against sharks. I'm definitely not saying I'm against hammerhead sharks. I get it, folks. I'm there with you. But I think sometimes we need this. We have to spice up life a little bit, you know? We gotta spice up life just a little bit. And I'm thinking we could give it a whirl today. And then obviously tomorrow we can return to our normal shenanigans. So I hope that's cool with everyone. Obviously, don't forget your cup of coffee. It is effectively summer. I mean, I don't think it's actually summer, but I'm going to call it summer. I don't know actually the official start date is summer, but in my mind, it's already summer because we've had our first 80-degree day here in New York. So it's time to switch from the hot coffee to the official iced coffee. So I'm hoping you have some ice cubes in your cup. Side story that relates to literally nothing at all, not sharks, not the market, not coffee. But Piper is in this new weird thing where ice is her favorite thing ever. So every time I get an iced coffee, I have to pay the Piper tax where she makes me throw ice into the sink just so she can kind of like mess with it, watch it meld and slide around. But it happens multiple times a day. Multiple times a day, I'm going ice broke. My freezer cannot keep up with it because the Piper ice tax is getting a little bit uncontrollable. So if anyone has ever had experiences like that, please let me know. But especially we're coming into the hot season, so I'm really going to be low on ice anyway. And right when Piper taxes are inflating, it's going to be a bad thing. It's not adding up to a good thing by any means. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the main talk of this variant show. No more sharks today, exclusively the market, the economy, individual stocks, degenerate trading, and all that good jazz. Before we get going, if you haven't already, destroy the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Helps me out with the algorithm overlords that run my life on Rumble, on YouTube, on X, on OnlyFans, on MySpace, and everything in between. It is very, very helpful to me. And also, just so you know, your other content creators, your other favorite ones, it helps them out a lot too. So I'm going to even shout them out to you for them, where don't forget to hit like, if you like the video, it just helps it out because it promoted to a couple other people. So very much appreciative of that. And also a shout out to the Matt Kohrs Goonie community. I know that the guy right above me, he looks similar, but he's not actually. He just paid for the sponsorship, and he paid me a lot of money for the sponsorship. So the official, I do have the official script. Hang on, I'm supposed to do this ad read within the first couple minutes. Good morning, fellow traders. Would you like to join the best trading Discord on the planet? Boy, oh boy, do I have a product for you. Introducing, for only the 20th time you've probably heard this, the Goonie Trading Discord. For a limited time, you'll be able to get into the Discord for free. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. For free. 100% free. Yes, folks. FREE. Wow, man, they really went at it with this script. Where was I? You can join for free if you use the code GOONIE, GOONIE. Once again, you can get in for free if you use the code GOONIE. Join the best trading Discord on the planet. I'm super serious right now. You're going to love it. Pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video, click on the link or go to Matt Kohrs, that is KOHRS, mattkohrs.locals.com. And when you sign up, make sure the promo code Goonie is entered for free access. Yeah, I guess shout out to that community if you want to join it. But yeah. As the script said, it is pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I honestly think that they should probably work on a couple better scripts, if you ask me. But I guess it's not my business. Not my business. Stock future slip as Treasury yields tick higher. Now, we're actually up a little bit now. Stock futures are flat after fresh U.S. unemployment data. So we did get the initial jobless claims this morning. Let's take a quick look at both the S&P 500 futures and the NASDAQ futures before we get into the other backdrop. I just want people to get the right framework for the day. So basically at 8:30, which is when the initial jobless claims come out, we popped and then kind of went sideways. The 30-minute was bearish. We recaptured that, pushing higher. Same on the 10-minute. So that's all for the S&P 500. Same thing at the NASDAQ, basically. If you look at 8:30, we popped sideways. The NASDAQ's even stronger, which is interesting because it was relatively weak relative to the SPY. I don't mean actually weak. I mean relative to the SPY. It was weaker yesterday. So we're seeing a bit more strength, 10-minute and 30-minute popping. So right now, my bias on the day is a bullish one. I think that is safe to say. I would actually become more confident if we start pushing. Ooh, are we already above it? I was going to say, I would feel more confident if we push the high from yesterday, which we are pretty much right there on the SPY. And then let me see on the Qs. We have a little bit more to go. So we're within spitting distance. Neither the SPY nor the Qs are pushing their high value from yesterday yet. But if that happens throughout the intraday trading session today, I would consider that to be a bullish development. But hey, what do I know? I have to literally pay my bills by taking weird ads from whatever it is, those sponsors. But anyway, taking a step back, looking at the global, not only economic situation, but just some important developing news from the past 24 to 36 hours. The Bank of England, the old BOE, set to hold rates as Europe's central bank diverge from Fed. I mean, is it really that much of a divergence? If literally the global central bank elites are all just saying, hey, inflation's still bad, but we can't really cut, but we really can't rise it because we don't want to go into a recession and or depression and destroy economies. I think everyone's at this awkward point when they're starting to realize how much of a complete farce, of how much a complete just crazy concept central banks are, and this idea for the forever expanding credit system. And we're just not properly taught about money. We're not properly taught about central banks. We're not properly taught about loaning every single dollar into existence. We're not properly taught about the fact that we have fiat currency that's backed by nothing. This has been a little bit of a test drive, I suppose, really from the 70s till now. It's one thing to have a central bank, but it's completely different to have a central bank printing money that's tethered to nothing. That started in the 70s in the US. We've been running this experiment for only about 5 decades, 50 years. And the results are starting to come in. Not so bueno whatsoever. So that's the BOE. Other places around the world, China's exports returned to growth in April, boosting economy. Kind of a interesting potential bottoming out, because the recent reports, when I say that, I mean from the start of the year till now, it hasn't been so good for China. And in fact, people are like, wow, China's actually on tilt. Right here, finally, a little bit of a reprieve, maybe a dead cat bounce. I have no idea. But the data recently coming in is a bit better than it has been pretty much all year. So anyway, overseas sales reverse March slump with expand 1.5% versus 2023. Imports unexpectedly surge as China buys chips and PC parts. Speaking of China, TikTok, obviously owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese company. And for any of you who have been watching the show or just paying attention to this news related to social media, TikTok officially, the bill to either ban it or force a divestiture in the U.S. signed or agreed upon by the Senate, the House, and signed by the president. So that bill in law. It was also that particular, I guess, subset of the bill that became the law was also associated with funding for Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, Russia, all that good jazz. So it was a part of it. The president signed it. So everyone got their funding. And on top of that, TikTok, I believe, has till January of 2025, I want to say, is the line in the sand. And it's either banned or you sell the U.S. portion of it to a U.S. company. Right now, as predicted, obviously, they're going to sue. They're going to say, hey, man, this is against freedom of speech. TikTok on Tuesday sued the U.S. government over a law that would force Chinese partner ByteDance to sell the app or face a national ban. President Biden signed legislation in April that gives ByteDance 9 months to find a buyer from the popular short-form video app and a 3-month extension if a deal is in progress. The courts have to balance First Amendment rights versus national security concerns. So obviously, we have the right to freedom of speech here in this country, one of the best rights you could have across the board, and not many countries in this world actually have it. But on the other side, there is apparently, according to our government, it's not like I've seen it myself. I have heard things from certain people I trust within the tech industry that the algorithm and the data, a little bit suspect. It seems like some people within power can control the algorithm, what's getting served, where it's getting served. And then also there's the question of data. Obviously, it has been reverse engineered. I believe the word that was used to me when explaining TikTok was basically it's malware. Really, if it's on your phone and you're using it, it has all the access to all the data on your phone. Maybe that's not 100% true, but I think it's a safe assumption that if you're using TikTok on TikTok, assume that whoever owns the data has access to all of your personal data, the terms of service, and really what this app does on your phone. They have access to everything. They have access to everything. So that's the other thing that they're attempting to balance out. Moving on, not too far away. Oops. Wait, did I just lose my Japanese one? Where was it? Uh-oh, I'm losing a tab. So moving on from China, I wanted to go to what's happening in Japan. But now my Chrome has completely frozen. Oh, there we go. Hedge funds pile into options bet yen will weaken back to 160. Now, I know we're not too much of a Forex community, but really when I think of the yen, I don't really think of much active Forex trading. If anything, I think it's still a good commentary on central banks. Really, I don't want to get too much into this right now. We can discuss it later if you want. But in Japan, for the longest time, they've had YCC, yield curve control. And basically their pathway of handling really all of their monetary policies decisions. Very different than the US, very different than what we're seeing in England, very different than many countries in South America. They had a unique approach to it. And because of that, you might have heard of the yen carry trade. And basically, when things were suspect, people would transfer their money to the yen and just collect that interest rate if they thought other things were a little bit too crazy. Well, that's now unwinding. And Japan has been kind of saying, hey, we're going to start treating things the way many of our other allies do. And with that, we are seeing a weakening of the yen. But on top of it, we're actually seeing the equivalent of the our S&P 500, their equivalent of it, the Nike, actually hitting an all-time high. So some crazy movement there. I just wanted to put that on your radar. Like I said, I completely understand we don't really commonly talk Forex or anything like that, but I do think it has larger global implications. So I just wanted to rapidly go over it with all of you. Bringing it back to the U.S. now, Biden says U.S. won't supply weapons for Israel to attack Rafah in warning to allies. So in terms of Israel-Palestine, the hot news of the week has been going on the southern portion of Israel, pretty much bordering Egypt. You have a region called Rafah where Israel has been basically telegraphing, hey, we're going to attack it, we're going to attack it, we're going to attack it, move out, move out, move out. Lots of implications there. Because yes, they are telegraphing it, which is basically saying get out so you don't get hurt. Other people are saying, hey, we're poor people, we're poor Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. We don't have the ability to get out. And you're saying you're going to bomb us. What do you want us to do? And then obviously with the U.S., we're caught in the middle there. It's just, this is a lose, 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 lose situation. And here we are. Biden warns he delay more weapons if Israel attacks Rafah. State Department says it's reviewing other weapon system. Israeli officials and Republicans air displeasure over U.S. move.
I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem. We're going to continue to make sure Israel is secure in terms of Iron Dome and their ability to respond to attacks like came out of the Middle East recently.
Okay, for more on this, I'm joined by Bloomberg's Dana Kraish in Dubai. Dana, what does the US president's comment then, the statement, pretty forceful, what does it mean in terms of US support for Israel during the war? Is this a pivot moment in terms of that support?
It is very rare, unusual for the U.S. to actually pause any shipments to Israel, and that hasn't happened. It hasn't happened since the October war on Gaza. This is the U.S. for the first time in this war using its leverage against Israel and pausing this shipment. We saw yesterday confirmation of that, and we also saw the U.S. later saying it would review and may review near-term agreements for weapons if Israel goes ahead with a full offensive on Rafah. Now, they chose specific arms,
like
which
how
is
she
this
says
2,000-pound bomb that has been criticized by humanitarian agencies for its use in the Gaza war, saying that it causes too much collateral damage. Now, on the ground, this might not impact Israel's ability to launch the offensive, but it's a very strong signal, strong warning by the U.S. to its most closest ally to say, listen to us, don't go into Rafah.
Rafah.
Dana, what is the latest in terms of the developments on the ground in Rafah?
So we saw yesterday Israel taking over the Rafah border crossing from the Gaza side, which also borders Egypt. And this is what prompted a lot of UN agencies to say this is very dangerous because Gaza is already in famine. And they were warning of fuel shortages. We saw pictures out of Gaza where people were moving to the Mawasi area where Israel says has access to humanitarian aid. And we also saw people setting up their own makeshift tents in Khan Yunis among the ruins in Gaza. So the situation still is very dire in terms of humanitarian aid coming in, despite the fact that Israel said it reopened the Kerem Shalom and more aid is coming in. But yet again, this is also the U.S. saying, or this is again the U.S. and UN agencies saying Israel needs to do more to allow more humanitarian aid to come into Gaza.
I think it goes without saying that the entire situation is a tough one. There's lives at stake. Literally, people are losing their lives on a daily basis. I don't think there's necessarily an easy answer. And here's a quick insight, I suppose, to the two people who on the U.S. side have a very powerful, influential voice. Obviously, you have Trump right now kind of using this to attack Biden. Crooked Joe Biden, whether he knows it or not, just said he will withhold weapons from Israel as they fight to eradicate Hamas terrorists in Gaza. Hamas murdered thousands of innocent civilians, including babies, and are still holding Americans hostage. If the hostages are still alive, yet Crooked Joe is taking the side of these terrorists, just like he said he has sided with radical mobs taking over our college campuses because his donors are funding them. So you have Trump obviously using the fact that many people don't agree with this at all and think we should keep supporting Israel. Obviously, that's a little bit more of a right-leaning thing. So he's using it to embolden his base. And then you have the other side, such as the people on college campuses, a little bit more left-leaning, who are saying, hey, there's a lot of innocent people in this region. So it's complicated. And if I'm being completely honest, I am very, very happy I'm not the one who has to be making the decisions. But the guy who's most powerful right now making the decisions is Biden. And this is this current state of affairs with Biden, which I have to admit, every time he talks or says anything, his PR team has to be ripping out their hair, because it's almost as if he's intentionally going out of his way to say things that his whole PR team and the press secretary are going to have to clean up. Right here, this was aired with CNN, and I think that's important to note because obviously CNN is going to be in Biden's corner. They're going to be a bit more supportive of him, especially in the battle between Biden and Trump. It's just how it goes. I don't make the rules, and I don't make the call outs at CNN. So please appreciate this is from his media ally, if you will. Biden, people have a right to be concerned about the economy, and which is a little bit awkward because he's still saying that the economy is amazing because of Bidenomics, but that's not where it gets really wild. Where it gets really wild is this about minute clip right here.
I mean, grocery prices are up 30%, more than 30% since the beginning of the pandemic, and people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years. I mean, that's a real day-to-day pain that people feel.
It really is, and it's real. But the fact is that if you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend. It angers them and angers me that you have to spend more. For example, the whole idea of this notion that Senator Casey talked about, shrinkflation. I think it's on your
Same
program.
price for a smaller
You have the
bottle
money
of
to spend.
juice
Well,
or
for
something.
example, Snickers bar, they did a thing, and it's like 20% less for the same price. That's corporate greed. That's corporate greed. And we've got to deal with it, and that's what I'm working on.
What about, I mean,
So in a quick 60-second clip, Biden has accused all of us of, no, you have the money, so stop complaining. You're being greedy, and then also corporate greed as well. Has nothing to do with inflation. It has nothing to do with monetary policy decision. It has nothing to do with presidential economic decisions. You have the money, so shut up and spend it. And then if you want to blame someone, it's because of corporations. That's something. It's a bold tactic. You know, I know a thing or two about angering the base that initially supported you. Trust me. If you guys know my history here on the interwebs, you know that I have a particular proclivity for angering my initial support base. And I have to admit, it wasn't a fun time for me. I don't know who's giving him this advice, but maybe just work on some of your like core call outs here once in a while. Because this fumbling and saying the exact, it would have been better truly if he just said something different. If he or if he just was like, I gotta go, there's an emergency. But he's like, nah, people have money. They just need to spend it. No, dude. No, they don't. We have a record amount of credit card debt. We have a record amount, well, not a record. We have an uptick in credit card delinquencies. We have an uptick in missed mortgage payments. People quantifiably do not have the money that he thinks people have, which is insane because you should have an entire team of economists relaying this information to you. And then you should have a PR team spinning it so it sounds good instead of you just going, fuck, man. Individual people are being greedy. Corporations are being greedy. They just have it out for me. I don't know what the big problem is here. It's ridiculous. On the other side, Trump recently doing a speech talking a little bit about crypto.
They are against it. Biden doesn't even know what it is. If you ask Biden, sir, are you for or against crypto? What's that? What the? Get me off the stage. He's saying, get me off the stage. No, he has no idea. But look, Gensler is very much against it. The Democrats are very much against it. And I say this, a lot of people are very much for it. Probably a lot of the people in this group. And I'm fine with it.
Trump
I want to make sure it's good and solid. And
tripling
else,
down on the support for crypto.
And if you like crypto in any form, and it comes in a lot of different forms, if you're in favor of crypto, you better vote for Trump. They are against it.
All right, so just a little bit there. Also on Trump, legal stalling tactics and lucky breaks boost Trump White House bid. Judge delayed Georgia election case, classified papers trial. New York hush money case could be only trial before November. So remember the hush money Stormy Daniels, we've been covering it a little bit. It's one of the major four going on. The other one is indefinitely delayed, and the other two sound like they are not going to be happening before the election. Now, honing in, don't forget, we're still in the middle of earnings season. This morning, Roblox came out. After the market closes, you guys might care about Unity, and then there's nothing too special tomorrow. But to quickly review what happened last night, Robinhood climbs after reporting record earnings for the first quarter. AMC quarterly revenue slips amid soft box office. Cash pile shrinks nearly 30% from Q4. And don't forget that the CEO, Adam Aron, is an absolute piece of shit. They just didn't have enough space in the title to actually put that in there. Chip designer ARM shares plunged nearly 9% after lackluster revenue guidance. Airbnb beats earnings expectations for first quarter, but offers weaker than expected guidance, which seems to be the going trend of this earnings season. Is a lot of companies on a Wall Street expectation basis doing well, but their future guidance not so bueno. Now, this company didn't report, but I think it's interesting anyway. Neuralink's first in-human brain implant has experienced a problem, according to the company. Neuralink on Wednesday said part of its brain implant malfunctioned in the weeks following its first in-human procedure. The company has built a brain-computer interface that could help patients with paralysis control external technologies with their mind. In January, Neuralink implanted a device in a 29-year-old patient named Nolan. A number of threads have retracted from his brain, Neuralink said in a blog. So they retracted, but I don't know if it's a fix, but I don't know. Just kind of a crazy story that I've been following. All right. With respect to today, Thursday, initial jobless claims came out a little bit higher than expected. They were looking for 212, came in at 231. At 1 p.m. today, we're going to get the results of the 30-year bond auction. On top of that, you could get more detailed information for every individual day in the newsletter. This is 100% free. You don't have to pay for it ever. MattKohrs.locals.com. That's the community center to get into the Discord, to get the Piper callouts, to get the newsletter for the giveaways. MattKohrs.locals.com is the hub. My mods will drop it in chat. Sign up. You might as well do the free aspect, and then if you want to get into the Discord, you're going to have to upgrade to supporter, which you can do for free if you use the code Goonie. But anyway, I break down the week. I give you all the major macroeconomic events. And for today, there's only 3 things. We're already done with the initial jobless claims, the 30-year bond auctions at 1 p.m., and then the San Francisco Fed President, Ms. Daly, will be speaking at 2 p.m. So we only have 2 more left today, nothing this morning. With respect to earnings, I just kind of highlight the ones that I think you're going to care most about. And then I also give you the seasonality, the historic trend of the individual day. So for today, Thursday, May the 9th, historically, it's pretty much a neutral day. Between the Bulls and the Bears winning it over the past 2.5 decades, it's pretty much flipping a coin. The profit factor is below 1, which means it slightly favors the Bears. But overall, I would say this individual day historically is a neutral day. That doesn't mean I'm expecting chop. I would love a big trend today. It just means I'm not going into the day with a bullish or bearish bias because of seasonality. And then I also let you know how Piper's been doing. Speaking of which, Piper hit again yesterday. Probably the number one reason to join the Discord, beyond the fact that there's a very cool community of people who are more than willing to help you become a better trader. Lots of knowledge sharing going on. But anyway, Piper fired late yesterday, fired at 12:30. It was bearish with a 3 out of 5 confidence. Call credit spread 518 on the SPY. Call credit spread 442 on the Qs. Obviously, that ended up hitting if you look at the concluding value. So per unit, and you can scale this up as much as you want. You would just need, for every $177, you could keep scaling it up. And it returned 23, 100% return. Personally, I ended up trading the SPX. I sold the 5,200 call credit spread on SPX. I got in at 65, sold at 65, bought it back at 10, which was a return of almost 85%. And since I had 5, it was a return of 275. So right away, this one day, if you were in the Discord yesterday, which you can join initially for the first month for free, you would have already paid for half a year. So the way I would think of this is purely a business decision. Do you get more value being in there than not being in there? And right there, you get your first month for free. This was from one day alone. So my contention is that you could pay for the entire year within the first free month. So really, you're always going to end up being net ahead. Now, if you want to join up, it is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. I would just tell you, make sure Goonies actually applied when you hit subscribe. And then also when you're checking out, that's how you ensure that you get the first month for free. And like I said, as a clear business pitch, I think you'll get more value being in there, especially in the first free month where it costs you literally nothing and you're going to want to stay. But the reason I make the first month is free is I just don't want anyone to feel like they got. Now, on that particular note, we need to get ready for the market open trade. Rumble, are you bullish or bearish? And I need you to go rapidly because we have less than 2 minutes. Market at open, the first minute from 9:30 to 9:31. Are you bullish or are you bearish? If you want the 10-minute, here, I'll throw the 10-minute up so you can kind of see what it looks like. Here's the 10-minute. We pop. We're coming back a little bit right now. All right, what do we have? We have a bullish. We have a bullish. We have a bullish. We have a bearish. We have a bullish. We need some sort of a bearish at the end. Barely took, bulls were winning for a bit there, but took a wow. All right, so right at the last second, Rumble decided to go bearish. I'm selecting that one. Rumble bearish 234, and YouTube is bullish 233. So you guys have differing opinions on the day. Well, I shouldn't say on the day. I should say on the first minute. But we're going to find out who's right in less than 1 minute. So on the left side, you have YouTube, 60%. 61% voting bullish. So I selected bullish for YouTube bull. On the right side, we had, out of the first 10 votes, the majority was bearish for Rumble. So we're taking a differing approach today between the two chats to keep going with trading competition number 8. Now we are on accounts 233 and 234. So 233 is YouTube, actually ahead. So YouTube's account is up $546 while Rumble's is up $379. So both are green, both are positive. Neither chat has missed a trade, but due to slippage, we've actually seen YouTube's get better fills. But let's see how it goes.
Target filled.
Let's see.
Target filled.
Hello? Well, YouTube already got its fill, and then Rumble got partial fill. A partial fill thus far. So YouTube already fully locked in at 135, and then you have Rumble that's already locked in 90, but has one contract still live. So this is sometimes you're going to see slippage. So one contract left to go. YouTube's already done. Congrats to YouTube. You nailed it. You hit it. You did what you needed to do. But Rumble over here, you very much want this to come back down there, brother. You very much want this to come back down. Close. You got 2 of your 3 contracts filled. 2 of your 3 contracts were filled. There, I guess, just wasn't enough liquidity at the bottom of the dip to get all of your contracts filled. So, I mean, the way, okay, the first minute's done. Technically, YouTube was right. But in terms of the initial first jolt, Rumble was right. So it depends. In terms of who was more right today, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. Rumble was right on the first jolt, but the first full minute was officially green. So that would favor YouTube. As of right now, YouTube did lock in its 135, while Rumble locked in 90 with the last open contract. Are we about to get the dive right here? Is this it? Rumble? Rumble?
Target filled.
Bada bing, bada boom. Congrats to both. Both Rumble and YouTube have locked in another $135. Congrats. Right now, YouTube is ahead, but at this point, we are still early into trading competition number 8, so there is a lot to still go down. Now, I'm, as you can see, running a lot of bots still, so mine should ideally start trading at some point today, and we'll check it out. We'll check it out when that happens, but don't forget, sign up for the Discord, pinned at the top of chat in the description of the video. In it, you're going to get the newsletter. You're going to get the Piper signal. You're going to be able to trade with me every single day. We do private lectures once a week talking about the statistics surrounding the market, systematic trading, a lot of advanced options things, and really it's just access to a pretty awesome community. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Your first month is free if you use the promo code GOONY. All right, with that being said, let's get prepped up for the day. As I alluded to in pre-market, if we can get above and hold above the high from yesterday, my bias on the day would be bullish. Speaking of bullish, DJT, the Trump Media Technology Group, basically the ticker for True Social, Trump's company. It had a pretty decent green day yesterday. It was actually the largest gainer on my watch list, and it's up once again, flirting with that $50 level, while Bitcoin's here in the lower right. Meta's down a little bit. Any big movers? Any big movers? Hang on real quick. Let's see. I just want to see what's happening with options. Options are a bit flat on the SPY. And then we have the Qs that already hit their downside gap fill. Interesting. So the SPY quickly ripped up to its high from yesterday. Now it's halfway in that region. The Qs popped, didn't really hit an important level to the upside, but when it fell, hitting its closing value from yesterday. Interesting. All right, I want a little bit more action, as in a little bit more time to pass, just so I can get an idea of the general vibes of the day. I see some all expiration picking up. When we look at options, my base view is the S&P 500, but obviously we can take a deeper dive into it if some of you are interested in other individual equities or maybe an entire ETF. Obviously, Spot Gamma has all of the data, but most of the time I'm looking at the S&P 500. All right. The game plan for the day is, yes, we have the 30-year bond auction at 1 p.m. So that's something we should call out if you're watching yields, if you're watching bonds, if you're watching the overall market, if you're watching the big classic blue chip stocks, you're probably going to want to know the results of that 1 p.m. 30-year bond auction, 1 p.m. ET. At 2 p.m., a somewhat influential member of the FOMC, Mary Daly, she'll be speaking. So between now and the end of the day, between now and when the world's largest casino officially closes shop for the day, there's 2 more things going down, and they're both in the afternoon, 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So you might want to know about that. Other than that, structurally, I'm looking for the SPY, like right here. If we push, so basically the A, B, C, D, I'm wondering if this yesterday's low is an official higher low. And I would feel confident about that if we push above yesterday's high and close above yesterday's high. And then if we can close above Tuesday's high, that's just some icing on the cake. So right now, to me, this is a bullish setup. The 5 minutes green, the 10 minutes green, the 30 minute was red, but looks like it's trying to convert green. If you look at the NASDAQ, 5 minute green, 10 minute green, 30 minute, similar to the ES, it was red, push above, trying to convert. The longer we stay above the EMA cloud on the 30 minute and the 10 minute, the more confident I would be in the bullish position. Thus far this morning, obviously the SPY is holding up a little bit better than the Qs. If we look at the options market, it's flat, not indicative of any move quite yet. If we look at the NASDAQ, a little bit of a drift to the downside. There's also, I guess some sort of it looks like a put wall up here at 18,130 if you're looking at the NASDAQ. SPY just started to dip a little bit. And right away it's retracting. All right, looks like we're going to have a little bit of a choppy mess opening. What are we doing here? All right. What are we doing? Am I selling the right thing? Yes, I am. All right, going for a quick little scalp. Let's see how this actually does or doesn't do. Do I have all this set up right? I hope I did it on the right side. You never know. You never really know. All right. All right, we're going. Okay, place that. All right, are we dipping? Options are looking a little heavy ever since 9:34. You're seeing the 0DTs go down and you're seeing the all expiration go down. And what this is calls are going flat. So it's not really a change in the 0DT calls or the all expiration calls. It's more that people are starting to buy puts. So that's why the notional delta is dropping. Is calls are flat, but people are picking up puts. Those are the bottom two blue lines. You have the dark blue, which is the all expiration, the light blue, which is the 0DT. The white line is the price of the S&P 500. The green line is the 0DTE calls, and the orange line is the all expiration calls. So let's see how this actually ends up playing out today. The Qs already hit their closing value from yesterday. Just to give you guys an idea, the SPY and the Qs both have a proclivity for hitting the closing value from the previous day. Obviously, certain setups have much higher odds, other setups have lower odds, but there is generically a statistical bias at some point in the next trading day to touch the price level of the previous day's closing value. Obviously, if you have a large gap up, a large gap down, especially if it's news driven, the odds drop off. But in a general sense, there is a better than not likelihood of hitting the previous day's close value, if that makes sense. And are we about to do it? Are we about to do it? We about to hit the gap? We about to hit the gap? And what just happened here? Uh-oh. The 30-minute quickly reverting. So the bulls are not showing up to play. What is going on here? Okay, let's see if I could do a quick scalp. Nope. I missed that drop. History. Yeah, no, I missed it. I was trying to get in right before that. And unfortunately, it did not do what I needed it to. Unfortunately, it did not hit when I needed it to hit. But I guess that's how it goes. See how options are still dumping. That was pretty obvious we were going to drop to that level. Will it keep going? I don't know. We're going to have to keep watching options to see if the bearishness, if the aggression. Now we're getting a flow alert. All right, so this might be quickly reverting back up. Let's watch this. A flow alert, as in something abnormal is going on actively right now in the options market. I want to see which way this breaks. Is it going to break? Maybe a little bit more bullish. Maybe a little bit more bullish. Let's see. Is it calls? We're going to need a little bit more time just to see. Doesn't necessarily have the best vibes, though, on the day. If you're reading the vibes, well, it has good vibes if you're bearish, I suppose. It has good vibes if you're bearish, I suppose. All right. Let's see what I just did. Ooh, I just got a decent scalp in. Look at that. Look at that. Nice little scalp on the day. Nice little scalp of Rooney right here. I'll just show it to you. So I got 100 and I was filled at what? I was filled at 61 for 100 contracts at 61. Was able to offload them real quickly at 63. So I made $200, but then plus another 36. So like I said, just a little scalp, just something to get the juices flowing. Quick $230 on the day. Just something, just to
Order submitted.
Oh, whoa! I forgot we still have bots running. But yeah, we're starting to dip. We're starting to dippity doodah dip. Ooh, okay. This is the new strategy on the screen right now. I got up crazy early this morning, mainly because Piper woke me up, and I thought of a new strategy, and I quickly coded it up. I hope I coded it properly. I've done no back testing. I want to clarify. I've done no back testing on this. I'm just hoping I did it properly. The whole point is for it to go like playing with a contract size of 2. Contract size of 2, locking in 1, and as soon as 1 is locked in, it should be setting the other one to break even, so I kind of have like a free ride type of a play. But this, I mean, it's not going to be interesting unless I actually lock the first one in. So we're going for it. Also, this should have had the same entry criteria that some of the other... I'm surprised other robots haven't fired yet. I guess I added different filters to it, which makes me feel like maybe I forgot a filter. Because it should have been the same entry signal. What I was working on is a different methodology to exit. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Batman. Well, I'm curious if it's going to work today. I'm curious if it's going to work. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Am I going to get lucky? Should we go back to... No. Options did bounce, but hopefully not much. Options bounced. And are we going to... Is it going to start turning back over? Is it going to start turning back over is the question. Qs are a bit weaker. Qs. Where are we at? Okay. Are the Qs about to vomit? Or are they going to catch a bid? See how options vomited, knocked, came back up. Looks like it's starting to drop again. Let's see how this one goes. All right, I'm going to do another little scalp play on some puts here. Let's see how this pays off. Here's what I just did. Like I said, it's a stupid little scalp play. 100 Q puts, 438 for today. I'm in at 76. And let's see how this one goes. Let's just do 85.
Order submitted.
Done. 83, 84. Let's see. All right, I did 100. I'm in at 76. I'm trying to get out of the 100 at 85. If it lets me, we're sitting. Just dropped back down. What just happened? Come on. I just need a little bit of a flush and I should be able to get out. Oh, okay. Wait, what happened here? Oh, other things are trading right now. Okay. So I guess there was just a little delay. I was wondering if this one hit. Come on. Let's see if I did this right. I'm hoping that my coding is as expected. So right here, there's the stop loss for the 2, but the whole concept of this, I'm almost thinking about calling this one like the fisherman or something like that, because as soon as it's short 2, and basically it'll either go long or go short 2, the entire concept is to quickly lock in the little buffer trade. And as soon as that little buffer trade is locked in, move the other one to break even, and see if you could just ride the trend for like the remainder of the day type of a deal. So basically, the second one is a free ride if you lock in the buffer. Now, obviously, the maximum risk of this style would be as soon as you put on the position, if it quickly reverts and you get blown out as both. But as soon as you lock in one, the buffer's locked in, the other one is set to break even. So really, the entire risk of this methodology is right when you place on the trade before the buffers hit. Obviously, you want the buffer to be hit relatively quickly. And I am not liking the fact that this did not dip as I anticipated. Did not. Oh, that's white. Come on, Q's. Breakdown. Here we go. We flashed it for a second. We're going flat. Are options dipping? What are the zero? I need the 0 DT people to get a little bit more aggressive for me. We looked good there for like a real quick second. A real quick second. Come on, just dip. Just dip. Just do it. Just do it, you baby. Just do it, you freaking baby. Do it. Do it. Buyers are coming in right at the low of the day. Right at the freaking low.
Target filled.
Come on. Come on, it's right there. It's for America. Let's do this one for America.
Target filled.
There. Come on. Aw, it's right there. It's right there, you son of a gun. You good for nothing, son of a gun. Seriously? Off by a point? Who's front running me? Who in here's front running me? Who did it? Was that enough of a... I'm still in this position too, apparently. It's still pending. Shit. It's close. It's trading at 82 and my fill's at 85. Dude, it's... The SPY's actually going up a little bit. Am I getting screwed here? Am I getting screwed? Come on. Q's drag it down.
Order canceled.
Look at that. And it worked. Holy shit. For once. For once in my God-forsaking life, the code worked. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see? Right as soon as it hit, it moved the break even
Target filled.
to exactly where I needed it. So no matter what, now it's a free ride. No matter
Order
what,
submitted.
it's not going to cost me money. I locked in whatever the 200, and if it comes back, okay, whatever. That sometimes when you go fishing, you don't catch any fish. That's part of it. That's part of it. And honestly, I only expect it to catch a fish. When I back tested some of this concept, it was about 20% of the time. But if it just keeps going, dude, I'm fishing, man. I'm fishing. So no matter what, it's a free ride. No matter what, my stop, it's in the green. Hey, it worked. I'm stoked. And then also, did this lock in? I think it did. Bada bing, bada boom, 1.1K there. I should shut that down because I feel like I'm getting a little bit too degenerate with that. So shutting public down, locked in 1.1K. The other bots are still trading. And apparently, they're not really deciding to lock in money quite yet. 240. 240's doing the same thing. Almost locked in its buffer, but didn't quite lock in its buffer. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. All right. Why is this stuff not locking in its money? So some of it got locked
canceled.
in. The other one, I think, just got stopped out. Yeah, just see how it got stopped out at break even? So that was 239. That was this account right here, locked in 265 on the day. You know what? Sometimes you go fishing and you don't catch stuff. It happens. It happens. You can't get mad about it. It was protective. I mean, obviously, we just might keep vomiting. I'll be like, oh, man, I wish I held on to it. Or it could just rip, and I'll be like, oh, I'm happy I got out for scratch on the day. Sometimes that's just how it be. Sometimes that's just how it be. Dude, these ones got tricked into going short, and it was close. It was close. All right. Let me turn off the YouTube and the Rumble one because we don't need that. Let's go back to what in the world's happening in the market. Why did the buffer not get hit? Why did the buffer? Market's starting to bounce a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't bounce too much, at least for my core positions. Obviously, if you're bullish on the day, I feel for you. I feel for you, but I need to be bearish. Those are What in the world? What in tarnation? Oh, I don't know why this is not showing up for me. I don't know why that's not showing up. Hang on one second. I think I have to shut down the brokerage and reload it. Hang on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Let me just kill this, restart it. Whoa. Whoa. Today's the 9th, right? All day, allegedly. If you guys believe in it. Are we bouncing? Because if we bounce a lot, I'm about to get fucked. Maybe I should manage. Should I manage or should I hold out? Should I manage or should I hold out? All right, where is this? If you're in the Discord, I'm dropping some of these trades in right now. Okay, so the scalp trade hit. I see the SPY bouncing a little bit. Options bounce. The golden question is it going to hold? That's the real golden question here. You can see what was it too? People started to buy calls. You can see the moment they started to buy calls, it was at 950. Now, if it keeps going up, I would expect price to go up. But all of a sudden, if you see these calls quickly buy, and then if they're not holding and start to drop, I would expect the SPY and the Qs to make another intraday low. So I think what's going to be moving it is right here. It's really particularly this green line. I know the green and the orange are basically doing the same thing, but the green line is the 0 DT calls. The orange line is the all expiration delta put together. So I'm watching the 0 DT, see how in the short term, if the bull camp is aggressive or not, if they keep showing this aggression, or if this was just like a little fluke. So that's what I'll be paying attention to. I'll be paying attention to that. I guess at this point, we might as well set some alerts up just in case I get caught talking about other things. We don't want to miss any potential breakdowns or breakouts. Not that we're that close to an actual breakout at this moment in time. All right, we have this. What's green on the day? Rumble's green. Rumble's in the green. Apple's in the green. And Netflix is basically break even. Oil traveling back up to 80 a barrel. Gold slightly green. And pretty much everything else is red. You have Tesla not looking the best. Tesla trading at 174. You have Nvidia trading at 888, down 1.7% today. Meta trading at 470, kind of going flat. Coin trading at 206, down 2.2%, definitely trending to the downside. Apple's having a good day. Apple has a nice trend to the upside. DJ, a lot of things just dipped this morning and are attempting to recover, but I would say the belle of the ball right now appears to be Apple. Apple opened up, and ever since then has just been trending higher and higher and higher. Higher and higher and higher and higher we go. Where it stops, nobody knows. All right. How are bonds? Oops, didn't mean to do that. How are bonds looking? Bonds are flat. Kind of interesting. That bond, see, calls still picking up, but the 0 DT, this green line, getting a little bit more lethargic. So people are getting bullish, and they've been bullish since 950, but it's a little bit more longer dated. I am watching if this green line abruptly drops, I would fully expect that to either be like a leading indicator, or to be perfectly correlated with the drop in the S&P 500. So watching this green line to get a better indication of what in the world
Order canceled
is going on. Order canceled. What order just got canceled? 240. Okay, so the runner on the other one did not work, or the risk hit, I should say. The risk hit, lost $1,000, which is a freaking bummer, brother. That's what that was. The order, blah, blah, blah. The risk was just hit, because I ran the runner strategy where like it locks in the buffer. But like I said, the biggest risk is before the buffer's locked in. Well, unfortunately, it was about a point away from getting its buffer locked in, and just ran all the way up and got knocked out, unfortunately. Bonds looking a little bit heavy. How's the dollar looking? Dollar's dipping, so that should be bullish for the market. But bonds are not, I guess, getting the message that the dollar's dipping. Strange. All right. So big spike from 950, kind of was chilling at 953, going flat since then. So there was about 5 minutes of some aggressive options bullishness. And since then, yeah, it was literally 3 minutes of just a big pop. And that's what got the market to pop. And now we're currently seeing the follow through from it as well. Will it keep going? It's really tough because obviously all we have is historic and up to date. So it's tough to find a quality leading indicator. So sometimes there's a little bit of a mismatch, and sometimes you can say, okay, I see one trend, it seems to be changing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to initially revert the other way. The way I would look at that is saying, oh, okay, we're going flat, so it's time to pay attention to realize, are we going to break to the upside, or are we actually going to revert and break to the downside? So the way I use it is much more of, hey, it's time to pay attention, rather than, oh, time to be bullish, time to be bearish, if that makes sense. But it might just be this hockey shape recovery. What the fuck? Oh, what are we doing? Which way are we going? Which way are we going? Which way are we going today? So we're pretty much at some pretty important equilibrium points. Bonds are looking heavy though. This is what's really throwing me off. Is generally I would like this recovery and say, okay, this was a fake out, time to go long. I like just going long into this grind. But actually I should say there's two things that are kind of making me uneasy of this movement. Is options have gone flat, flat or less extreme. You could say there's still a slight uptick, but also now I'm seeing bonds go down. I'm seeing bonds. Bonds are not agreeing with this. Oh, there's a pop. That's a little bit more bullish. There's a pop. Let's see how the NASDAQ is looking. The NASDAQ's picking up as well. There is a put wall, though, at 18,130. Fuck. Yeah. These accounts are about to fuck me. Oh, I played it. Oh, it just got in right. It was just enough negative movement. Just enough negative movement to get me into the position. I just got an alert on NQ, the 30. Okay, so right here, it's very indecisive today. The 30-minute, like we were negative, we popped above it, came back negative. We're right here. I would say we are in a very undetermined day, as in I don't think I'm really going to be, the SPY's a bit stronger. The SPY came down and bounced. So the Qs are a little bit suspect. The Qs need to make up their mind of, are they going up or are they going down? The S&P 500 a bit stronger. Yesterday we saw this, dude. The fact that bonds are not catching a bid, what's happening? Financials are looking good. Energy's looking good. Utilities are fine. Industrials are fine. Healthcare is up. It's tech. Tech is, if we were to aggressively turn bearish today, it would be because of tech. That's the only one that, I mean, look at this.
Order filled.
Industrials, healthcare, yeah. It's tech. It's tech, it's tech, it's tech. It's tech, man. Some of my accounts, these Apex accounts are close to blowing out because there was just no breather. It basically had just enough movement to trigger it to go short. And then it got destroyed. SPY just tagged a new intraday high. That's nuts. The SPY, look at that bounce. The 10-minute fake out breakdown, the 5. See how the tech's a bit weaker, and it's like at the 5, the 10, the 30 trying to decide. While on the flip side, the S&P 500 bullish, bullish, bullish. Interessante. Interessante. The SPY potentially getting rejected at the intraday high. Let's go to the 3-minute. We might get a little bit. Look at it. Perfect V. Just like I said, Q's lagging a little bit behind. A little bit behind. The dollar's still weak. That's actually bullish. So maybe the dollar's negative movement is enough to, I don't know, in a weird way outweigh the bonds negative movement. How are bonds doing? Bonds are not. As the SPY hit a new intraday high, the bonds are hitting a new intraday low. That's crazy. All right, let's see. We just got a flow alert, so we might be seeing the options trend go flat or reverse or something, but a flow alert just happened. So we were ripping. Flow alert, something abnormal going on in the world of options.
Order submitted.
Now what is it doing? Order submitted. 188. 188. Where is this account? Even my bot is now long on the S&P 500.
Order filled.
All right, so I'm in the position I hate being in when it's long one and short the other. Right now it's short the NASDAQ, but long the S&P 500. Oh, that's painful. That's a painful one. Look at the head and shoulders on the SPY. I don't see one. I see a V-shaped recovery or a Nike swoosh recovery. Vomit, slow grind back up to the upside, new intraday high. What do we have going on here? What do we have going on? And we are above the high from yesterday. I like that. I think of that to be bullish. I wonder. Is it that crazy to take a long position on the Qs right about now? What was this account? This account was 240.
Order filled.
240.
Order filled.
All right, locking in some money. What was this low? I think I might just take a stab. It was 53. All right, maybe a little bit of a manual trade here. 53. Am I okay with risking 53?
Target filled.
50. I'll put it at 52.
Target filled. Order submitted.
All right, I'm doing a manual trade on the NASDAQ and betting on a little bit of this recovery. Speaking of which, does the NASDAQ, it looks like it does. All right, putting Piper in here. All right. Oops. Today is the 9th. Okay. It's just, I'm trying to upload the Piper stuff for everyone in the Discord. Let me make sure. Oh, there bonds go. What are we doing? Did I get all of this right? I believe so. Okay, we have all that. Green, 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 green. I am long at, apparently I got to fill at 81 on my NASDAQ play. Okay. We're getting a little settled into the day. A little bit of chop for the first 6 to 9 minutes, then a vomit, pretty strong recovery. The Qs vomited below their close yesterday, traded right back up to their close, stalled out. The SPY showing a little bit more strength, vomited, recovered, and then some new intraday high. If you are in the Discord, which you guys could all join, the Piper signal fired, and I put it in there just past 10 a.m. Bonds catching a bit of a bid, the dollar doing its thing. Well, it'll be interesting to see how today goes. Time to see how today really plays out. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we going to push? Now we've stalled. So options kept going. Now we're taking a bit of a breather, I guess. There is a call wall up here, 5,200 on SPX. I'm interested to see how, options were aggressive. Obviously starting at 950 aggressive, just buying calls, selling puts all the way up until about 10:06. And now it's taking a bit of a dip, but the question is, how big of a dip is this dip gonna be? How big of a dip is this dip gonna be? Time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. What do we have going on? 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish. Man, the NASDAQ is trying. The NASDAQ, the tech sector is second guessing. It vomited below, bounced right back up. It's trying to decide, is this a fake out breakdown or is it a fake out breakout? Regardless, we're about to have some movement. We're going to definitely get some movement off this one. The overall market's been holding, but tech is the one that says, hey, brother, not quite sure how I feel about this. And options are starting to dip too. Yeah, the NASDAQ options dipped even harder. Look at that. Would not be going bullish at this moment in time. If you're looking for a bullish position, the way I look at it is you have to at least wait until options flatten out. You don't want to be fighting the trend of options destroying you. Bonds, though, finally turning course. Rum is the biggest gainer on my watch list, up 2.2%. Bonds are slightly red. DJT slightly red. Coin is down 1.5%. Meta slightly red. Nvidia down 1.3%. Tesla is green, slightly green. Netflix slightly red. Amazon slightly. Everything is just like a small movement right now. Seemingly indecisive on the day. As a friendly reminder, don't forget that we get the 30-year bond auction results at 1 p.m. today. And then we are also going to be getting the Mary Daly speech at 2 p.m. 1 p.m. ET and 2 p.m. ET. Oh, what are we doing today? What are we doing? Matt, check Piper. Did you need me to post what you did for spying? It's there. What are you talking about? 10:06 in Piper. It's posted. Do I have open call options? No, I don't. If you're in the Discord, Piper's posted. I don't know what you're looking at. Yeah, and it's in the right channel as well. Okadokes. Let's go back to bonds. Rum's going. Apple's having a good day too. Oh, decisions, decisions, decisions. Decisions, decisions. Oh, it's mess up on. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Updated. Updated, Dan. I thought you meant I put it in the wrong channel. It's updated. It's fixed. Updated and fixed. Updated and fixed. A little bit of a copy paste issue. A little bit of a copy paste issue. What is, dude, this gamma's still fucking going, man. A little bit of a copy paste. Oh, what do I want to do? How do I want to handle it? I haven't done my main play for the day, and I don't know what I want to do. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? I want to throw on a bullish position, but the Qs are just not playing ball today. The Qs looking a little bit sketchier. SPY's looking fine. Well, options are holding. Price is dipping a little bit, but the Qs, price is dipping and my concern is if the options vomit right here, is it going to drag the SPY with it? I'd prefer for today to be considerably easier by just it starting to pick up and break 440.50 and also rip and touch its own new intraday high. That would make my life a lot easier. But instead...
Order filled.
Instead, it's dipping. Instead, it is dipping.
Order submitted.
It is dipping. It is dipping. I still have 3 strategies that need to trade, but we are dipping right now. What's up, Matt? Haven't checked in since AMC and Jimmy. What's going on? What's going to the moon? But what's up? Since AMC and Jimmy was going to the moon, but what's up? Not much. What's up? There's the puke. CO options. There's the puke. Rut-row. Rut-row raggy. Are we coming undone today? Are we just doing a brutal fake out to the downside, to the upside, to the downside? All right, this is what I'm worried about, is that the Qs were going to drag everything down. And we might be at that point in the day. Oof. Oof. So my stuff that was so close to getting its fill, just unlucky at the moment. Unlucky at the moment. One of the runners worked, so I'm proud about that. The other one, a little bit too large. A little bit too much, which, how could I fix that? 53. Go back to 37. Back to the drawing board. What did Trump say about crypto? That he likes it, that he supports it, and if you support crypto, he supports it more than Biden does, was probably the best TLDR. Oop, options picking up a little bit on the SPY. Are they picking up on the Qs? Qs a little bit of a jut, but let's see. The SPY finding support at the high. You know what? This might be the time that I take a stab at it. Take a stab at it. All right. I think yeah, I did. All right, my official position on the day filled. I'm sending this into the Discord, and hopefully we can just let this bird fly. Hopefully we can let this bird fly. Let's see. Download. Yes. All right. All right, if you're in the Discord, I just put my main trade up. We already had a scalp this morning on the options with that new strategy that we've been working on, but I just posted my main play. And knock on wood, I hope I'm just kind of like done from here. Hopefully everything just goes smoothly. VIX is up. Well, that makes sense because the market dipped. I mean, VIX is literally just the measure of the volatility of the S&P 500. That's by definition what the VIX is. So whenever you see more volatility in the SPY, you're going to see VIX go higher, which is, I'm welcoming it because I have not, wait, why is this pinned multiple times? On Rum, are you guys seeing multiple of the same pin? Or is that just me? Is it on Rumble chat? Quick question. Are you guys seeing my pin message multiple times? Is there a bug there, or is that just exclusively on my screen? I'm seeing multiple. Hide message. No, I guess it's just on my side. I don't understand why. Maybe I just need to reload this quick. Happening. All right. With the reload, it fixed, I guess. Strange. But anyway, yeah, VIX, VIX, it is the measure of the volatility of the S&P 500, which it's been relatively low for quite a while, which makes premium selling kind of more of a pain in the ass. So I am particularly happy when I see it. Granted, it's not up much. I mean, we've really just vomited. In fact, it's barely green on the day when in reality it's just getting absolutely destroyed. So this is nominally, the value is not high at all. Yes, it is green, but the overall trend still favoring a not volatile S&P 500. I like anyone involved in the world of options, especially premium selling, you like it way better above 20, above 30, above 25. Like the higher the better, just because premium is more juice, you get more movement. Right now we're specifically getting like no movement. Matt, DJT is now 27 days on the reg show list. Don't they need to close out the FTDs at some point? Also, SI of 70%, but shares on loan is 5 million, which does not math correctly. Yes, the FTDs by regulation have to eventually be closed out. They cannot persist forever, but there's also no saying that it's the same FTDs. So like say you have FTD, whatever, we'll call it like 1. If that one's closed out, you're on the reg show list for just the magnitude of FTDs. So I think it's a dangerous assumption to think that it's the same FTDs, if that makes sense. Also, short interest is 70%, but shares on loan 5 million, which does not math correctly. It does. Remember, it's the short interest of the free float. So you have an outstanding share count, and the outstanding share count is composed of 2 things. It is the free float and the closely held shares. So when you report short interest, most of the time it's going to be by the ratio will be with the free float, not the total outstanding shares. So the math does math. Good questions though. Did you buy or sell SPY? That's for the Discord to know. I have already showed you 2 different trades today. I'm not going to show you every single trade, especially like the quality ones that are mine from signals, that like the signals for the Discord. I'm not just going to give that away. I mean, I already gave away 2 trades where I showed you making what, 1.5K. SPY now flat, which means here, let's go. The NAS, yeah, these are just flat. We're not really doing anything. Yeah, that would imply that there is like 10 million shares in free float. Okay. What's your question? I mean, this is I want to help answer this more. Yeah, you're right. That would be the assumption. I don't what. Yeah, correct. This is just, I guess, basic division. Shares on loan 4.94 million. Short interest of free float 63%. If you look at either the fundamentals or the overview, you could see the outstanding share count, free float shares 4.62, so 6 million. Yeah, that works. There's something like 60 million in the float, not 10 million. I literally just explained that. No, there isn't. You're thinking of, here's the shares outstanding are 1.36 million. The free float is 6.3 million. I don't know where you're getting 60 million. It's just, I guess, a division ratio problem. Like your issue with the number itself, like the magnitude? I mean, I don't think your issue could be with the math. It's literally just like one division problem. So I don't, what part of it are you disagreeing with? The SPY's now picking up. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. SPY's picking up. SPY's picking up. There's something. Okay, that's still your last message. Yeah. Help me help you. Help me help you. Help me helping you. All right. And we still don't have the answer from you. Matt, are Beanie Babies going to go back in value? Sure, why not? Sounds like you want me to say that they are, so I will support that. 5,200 is a call wall. 5,200 is a call wall. Aren't we? We're pretty much at that. Pretty much at that. Right? Oh, should we do it? Should we do it? Should we do it? Do I think this is going to break? I mean, the options are looking good over there. They're starting to pick back up on the Qs. Do I think this is going to break out and go? Oh, what are we doing here? A little bit of a dip. 0DT calls dipping a little bit right here. That's what I was thinking about just getting into. So maybe I need to wait. Maybe I need to find a more timely opportunity. 30 minutes. So yeah, the SPY is clearly strong. It is the NASDAQ that is suspect. So if you're bullish, I would say look at the SPY. If you want to be bearish, you probably have better shots with the NASDAQ. But if the SPY keeps going, there's a chance it just drags the NASDAQ up with it. Apple's now flat. Coin's kind of flat. Are we turning here? I'm just trying to time this trade. All right. Sometimes you just got to let it rip. Sometimes you just got to let it rip and pray that everyone else agrees with you. Pray that everyone else agrees. Actually, I don't need this line. So the Qs still have not made an intraday high yet. The SPY has. The Qs are actually still in the red. So the Qs are down 30 cents on the day, 0.07%, while the SPY's up 0.2. Shares outstanding is 136 million. So I guess I'm not understanding how 70% short interest applies to 5 million shares lent. Sorry if I missed the explanation. Because just because shares are out on loan doesn't mean that they're short. It means that they're out on loan, and they could be short. They could go short, but you are not forced into taking a short position just because you took out shares on loan. You're conflating shares on loan having to be short, which is not necessarily true. People take out shares on loan all of the time and don't go short because other things might not develop that they were like specifically looking for. It's not, I think, yeah, I mean, I think that's where your misunderstanding is happening, is you're thinking that shares on loan means that they have to be short. It's a percentage of shares on loan that actually go short. So yeah, it's that would be the theoretical legal max, but you don't have to go, because, and the reason people take out shares on loan and don't actually go short when they might just like sit on them for a bit is because it might be HTB, hard to borrow. So when there are some to borrow, they might pay for the loan just so they have the shares to use if they want to use. You see that happen quite a bit in hard to borrow stocks, which technically DJT is right now. 70% of all available. I don't know what you're talking about. That the shares that are available is the utilization. Utilization is the percentage of shares out on loan that could theoretically go out on loan. So 99%, 99.38% of shares that could go out on loan are out on loan, and then some sub portion of 4.94 million are the ones that are short, and that's why you have an estimated short interest, because it's some smaller portion of that. And then this short interest is against the free float, not against the shares outstanding. And shares outstanding is the total shares in existence. Free float are the ones that are publicly traded, and the other option is the shares that are referred to as closely held. Now, I think it is important to note that the definition of free float, like as in publicly traded versus closely held shares, is kind of up to the data provider's like own opinion. There's not a clear-cut definition of it. And the whole reasoning behind that is because certain entities, like maybe a pension fund, a data provider might look at that and be like, you know what? The pension fund never trades. They're closely held. They're not going to go out. They're not going to be loaned out, like blah, blah, blah. So they're part of the closely held. A different data provider might be like, no, we think that pension might actively trade it, so we're going to put that into the free float. So my point in that is the ratio breakdown of free float, publicly traded versus closely held within the outstanding share count, it is not going to be unified across all data providers, just because it's somewhat up to the data provider of what they define as closely held. I hope that makes sense. Does that happen though? I don't know how to borrow shorts without borrow shares without shorting them. It happens a ton. It happens a lot. That's kind of a weird. I don't know how to borrow shares without shorting them. I don't know what to say. It does happen, and it happens a lot. Remember, most of the movement on any given day in any given circumstance is not retail traders. Most money movement is professionals. It's high frequency traders. It's large hedge funds. So yeah, they've accurately figured out how to do it. What time is it? 10:30. I think sometimes it's easy for us to kind of see the lens through our world of like, oh, like what's retail talking about? What's retail doing? But remember, we are barely a drop in the bucket relative to like we're watching billions of dollars move in minutes. It's just retail. We're the small little minnow going with like the overall flow or trying to fight the flow and all that stuff. We're not the big like decision makers here. We're not the big influential power members, if you will. 519. Oh, what am I doing? 5. Okay, 519. Oh, fuck. I'm up at another grand. Sick. Nice. Good day to be me. I'm going to need that money to buy back some of those Apex PA accounts that I just blew out. Yeah, the SPY just tagged a new intraday high. I am actually looking for the Qs to ideally do something similar and break 440.37 and then get above 440.76. We might be having a bullish day on our hands. Come on, let's just break and go. I'm watching this, and I very much want the SPY to pick up. I'm hoping that this price entices people to YOLO into calls again. But with that being said, there is a call wall at 5,200, which is what SPX is at. So that might be a tough breakout level. Right here, SPX, it's at 5,198. So I think there might be a bit of a struggle at 5,200 flat. Something to watch for sure. Okay. This is, I think, well, I know so. Not only is it a key technical level, it's a key psychological level, and it's also now a key level in the options market. There's a lot of premium betting on 5,200. Exactly why it's a call wall right here. So this is the watch. This is the watch right here, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I don't know. What's everyone's bet? You think we're going to break above it, or you think we're going to get smacked? You think the breakout is a swift, bullish, giant green candle to the upside, or do you think it's a smackaroony? What's your votes? Votes. Breakout or breakdown? Breakout or bounce? Breakout or, I guess, rejection? Smacked? Greg's voting on smacked. Greg, do you agree with that? Do you agree with yourself, Greg? Nah, smack, out, smack. Dude, we got a lot of negative Nancy's over here today. Smackaroony. Out. Smack. Dude, so many negative people in here. Some negative Nancy's, brother. What's going on? You guys want to talk about it? Is everyone all right? Jeez Louise. We got some negative Nancy's. Some negative Nancy's. Options are still flat. It's definitely not going to break if these don't go to the upside. Definitely not going to break. All right. I'll set an alert for a new intraday high because I don't want to miss that if we do go. Oh, the Qs, potential cup and handle. Here's the cup, here's the handle, here's the higher low. The like kind of neckline breakout would be, I don't know, just call it 440.25. You could do like a measured move, but that's somewhat of a bullish setup if that could also get the follow through. I highly doubt it'll get the follow through if we don't see people get more aggressive on SPY, because right now the delta is ever so slightly dropping. Oop, picking up. We picking up? Is this what we need? Here we go. Are we off to the races? Nobody knows? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Let's go. And nope, we didn't hit it yet. We got a new intraday high, but we did not hit 5,200. Options are not picking up. I want to see like a fucking rocket, brother. That would make me comfortable with the breakout. And until we see that, you guys might be right that it could just be getting smacked. All I know is we're coming to the important test level. Matt, when are you buying Disney calls? Why would I buy Disney calls? I guess I would do that if I want to lose money. Disney calls? That seems like just bad advice. You want me to buy calls on a shoulder earnings breakdown with the gap down to 99? I would buy Disney calls if I was like, hey, I have too much money. Let's see if I can waste it. That would be the circumstance in which I would buy Disney calls. I'd be like, oh man, what, so much money. What should I do with all this money? Then I would get them. But alas, I am not currently in a situation where I have too much money, so I'm not going to be doing that. Its earnings haven't been good, i.e., why it's getting murked on earnings. Price structure, shoulder, head, shoulder, downside gap fill, below the EMA cloud, not showing any strength. No. I would. No. That would not be the if anything, I'd probably be selling calls. I'd be selling premium. I don't even know. Well, first of all, I don't really trade Disney because I just don't give a shit about Disney. But if I played it, I don't know if I necessarily buy puts. I'd probably just sell like a call credit spread or something like that. Something along those lines. Oh, brother. All right, folks, it's up to you. Do I take my money? Do I take the 1.7K? Or do I let it ride? I have 100 calls. I have 100 calls right now. Do I take it or let it rip? Take it or let it rip. Take it or let it rip. Take it or let it rip. It's not updating because it's actually trading at 79, so I should be up quite a bit more, I believe. I'm up 3.7K. Take it or let it rip. 3.7. I'm almost up 100%. Are we just going? We're just ripping, brother. It's up to you. My financial health is in your hands. My entire attitude on the day is in your hands. Take it or not. Take it or not. Take half. Bunch of fucking pussies. Take half. Sorry, I didn't realize this was called the Boring Fucking Reasonable Show. Hi, my name's Matt, and we're going to talk about conservatively engaging in the stock market because we were loved as children and don't have attention issues that led into addictive gambling. That's not the name of the show, you fucking babies. Oh, hi, my name's Matt, and we're going to talk about how you can get a 5% return per year. We're going to talk about how you should respect your risk. Fucking babies. Sorry, I didn't know my audience was full of a bunch of crybabies. Oh, what do I want to do? I don't even know why I asked you guys. I knew you were going to give me poor advice. I should have sold half at 100% gain and then just let the rest of it ride. Tactically, that would have been the right decision. 50 at 85. Done. You happy now? You crybabies? Not necessarily where I need it to be though. If I'm being 100% honest with all of you, come on, keep going. 82. It did spike to 90, so I probably should have asked beforehand, because if I had that order in at 85, I would have been already out half, and then I just have a free ride. Then I'm just playing with the casino's money today, brother. Come on, go. 80, 82, 83, 83, 83, 83, 82, 83. Do we hear TLT's popping? That should be good for me. 82, 83, 81, 83. Damn, it's dancing right around my order. It's just not letting me out. How are options looking? 0DTs just went a little flat. Not the biggest fan of that. Not the biggest fan of that, if I'm being completely for real with all of you. 84? I hear 84. 80. Some people just got filled at 85. Was I one of those people? Someone just got filled at 85. Was I one? Completed. I was one. Huzzah! All right, so I paid for the entire position with a little $200 kicker, which means the leftover position is a complete free ride. Up 5.6K. It's a complete free ride. Free ride. I could let this fucking burn down for all I care. I mean, I'm up. I made 200 on it regardless. This thing could decay all the way to 0 and I would still be up because I'm that good, dude. It's just the rest of it is pure profit. It doesn't matter. Literally nothing matters. It does not matter. So now I'm definitely done for the day. So he says. Honestly, if this might seem fun to all of you, like, oh, Matt's doing it. Honestly, I'm kind of tilted right now. I'm pissed off that I lost PA accounts on Apex. So I'm happy I got that money to be able to buy more PA accounts, but I'm actually more perturbed and upset than anything else. You had me at decay to 0. Oh, man, I'm just angry. I guess maybe sometimes tilt. Ooh, now options are dipping a little bit. We do have the move up to 5,220. I would love for that to happen. Are these puppies coming back around? We're kind of overextended to the upside. Kind of over. Man, I would have been up by quite a bit if I held that other position. Oh, I guess I need a breather. I need to touch some grass. What do we have? What'd you guys send in? What'd you guys send in? What is this guy? Oh, I like this guy. He's funny. Funny how that works.
So if you take down and burn the American flag, it's free speech. But if you burn other flags, it's hate speech and you go to jail. Got it. So if you...
Valid point. Fair question. How can anyone believe this garbage?
I invite you to rise in body or spirit and let us confess our faith today in the words of the Sparkle Creed. I believe in the non-binary God, whose pronouns are plural. I believe in Jesus Christ, their child, who wore a fabulous tunic and had 2 dads and saw everyone as a sibling child of God. I believe in the rainbow. I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
Dude, my Christians in here are pissed right now. There's going to be a certain sub portion of my audience right now that's probably losing their mind. Probably so pissed. I had 2 dads. Illegal aliens now get 6 months free housing in Denver. Cops are literally defunded $8 million so the government could pay for this. Make it make sense. What? Illegal aliens are now getting 6 months of free housing in Denver?
There is actually, the sanctuary city of Denver is boasting financial cuts, like defunding the police by $8 million to take care of illegal aliens. There's an actual organization in Denver called Hope Has No Borders, very cute name, of course, where you can actually get paid and paired to host illegal immigrants. All you need to do is dial 211, complete a 20-minute phone call, describe the type of living space you have and how long you would like to host illegal aliens, and in return, you'll get your food and your utility bills paid for. Joe Biden's economy. This is how it works. Currently, illegals receive 6 months of free housing and food in Denver, but apparently that's not enough. Not to mention that Denver has a population of over 700,000, about 80% identify as Democrats, and it is the most liberal city in Colorado, just by pure rankings, not by assumption, but I'd assume correctly anyway. About 40,000 illegals have infiltrated the community over the past 15 months, and the city has allocated almost 90 million, 89.9, on migrant assistance for 2024. So I just can't imagine being a host for migrants that don't speak your language, and then they can run an absolute muck in your home. And then I'm also thinking about the fact that you bring them into your home and it's like, are they doing chores? Because if they start to help out in the home, to me, this just seems like some weird virtual signaling that turns into a snowball of systematic racism in a sense, right? They keep illegals relying on Americans for.
I think we live in a little bit of a upside down world there. Team. 16 years into Newsom's decade-long plan to eradicate homelessness, $24 billion later, this guy is such a POS.
What we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homelessness in San Francisco.
How are you going to solve homelessness? What are you going to do as a new mayor? And I say, well, what are you going to do?
Focus on a housing first model, direct access to housing, shelter, solve sleep, housing with wraparound.
He might be one of the worst people alive.
Homelessness.
He's such a scumbag.
Laid out a
How does he keep getting reelected?
There's been no intentionality
Who's voting for this
in the
guy?
state for decades. It's not been a focus.
I don't think we can solve homelessness. I know we can solve homelessness. We will reduce street
Haven't
homelessness
yet.
quickly and humanely through emergency
It's actually gotten worse.
action. The highest investment the state's ever made is $1 billion on homelessness. We are poised to pass a budget in the next few hours that will provide $12 billion of investment. I can literally quantify.
Is this just like money laundering? Where is it going?
That we got off the streets last year, and none of you would
Where's
believe
the money going?
The state
Doesn't feel
has
like it's
not
going to the
made
homeless.
progress in the last 2 decades as it relates to homelessness. Why?
Not interested in funding failure. We're not interested in failing more efficiently when it comes to the issue of homelessness and the crisis on the street.
It feels like corruption. Like, it's just so in our face. High-end California market, Irhorn selling ice balls for 32 euro. Am I so poor I can't even say it? Irhorn? How do you pronounce it? I've never heard of this store. Irhorn. Erhon?
Tell me why they're selling. This is ice, by the way.
In ice we trust. $32 for ice balls?
8 ice cubes. Ice balls.
Ice balls. That's a
Tell
good
me
deal.
why.
That's a good deal. Irhorn. Irhorn? Maybe there would be less homeless people if we weren't selling ice for $32. Queens neighborhood housing over 1,000 illegal men in detention.
Queens, New York, standing outside a migrant shelter that is for men. This is a huge encampment back here, housing over 1,000 men from all over the world. Most of these men that you're seeing right here are from Africa and Venezuela. I want to show you right across the street from me is a baseball field. There's an elementary right there, a YMCA down the street right there, and beyond these tents is a senior citizen center. This is built in a neighborhood. All of these men here, right here, they need work. They want work permits so they can work. They entered into America illegally, therefore they cannot work, and they're put in a neighborhood in Queens, New York. Could you imagine if this happened in your neighborhood? How would you feel? There were protests in the streets when this all came, but those protesters, nothing happened because this was still built here. The city is taking care of these men because this is a sanctuary city, and this is what is happening. Another result, having these open borders, all of these people have came. All they can do all day long is just sit and wait and hope that they get a work permit someday, and this insanity needs to stop.
Wow. I haven't really thought about this before, but if I owned property and then they opened a sanctuary city by it, I would lose my mind. I mean, that can do nothing but plummet the value of your real estate, of your asset. Oh, dude, I would lose it. I'm sure. Has that happened to anyone in here? Has anyone in here like owned property and then it either became a sanctuary city or they opened one? I'm curious if they're actually like if there was a measurable decrease in the value of your property. Did Tim Pool get taken off of YouTube? I don't know. Tim Pool's YouTube manager doesn't call me in the morning and tell me what's going on. I've been in California for going on for decades and get rich. Nothing new. Huh. I'm going to look into that.
Chose Nike in the first round. Tim called it best in class. Drewski, what's up next?
Drewski?
Hey, man, I see what Jillian did there. She tried to accuse me of insider trading. I know my stuff, man. I see what she tried to accuse me of I ain't going on Biggest Loser. I ain't going. But look, my pick will be Google.
Google? Why Google? Do you have deals with Google, or you? What kind of ties do you have to Google?
What is this?
Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now. Come on now. You see this Google picture? Commercial. So hey, look, I'm going with my pick and I'm staying with it.
I like him.
What y'all got to say?
He's more entertaining to listen to than normal financial media correspondents.
First of all, I think Drewski needs to be defended in terms of his first pick, as does Kenny Smith on WBD. I mean, Ryan Reynolds won it with Netflix a couple of years ago, where he has a relationship.
Shows on Netflix.
This is what these people do. They have relationships. They've made disclosures. So, I like the Google call. I like Google because I think it's certainly proven. Even
When you're already a celebrity, you just don't care. You can just screw around so much.
So far, it's
I like it.
all-time highs. That'd be a reason for this game not to own it.
Joey Jaws
reporting tonight,
on
but
the
I think
clock.
The valuation of mega cap tech, I think they're as defensive as any of those big players.
Drewski's calling Jillian Michaels there, I think, is what's going on. Joe.
Interesting. I guess we're now asking celebrities for their stock picks. Why not? Nothing matters anyway. $100 if you can do a push-up.
Hey, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
So aggressively mean. Oh, brother. All right. How much money? What's it trading at right now? I'm in at 81. It's trading at 88. I dumped half of it. I had 100. I dumped half at 85. It's currently trading at 87, 88. So up 2.3. Count's looking good today. Count's looking good today. All right. We'll set this up as my risk. The Q's hit a new intraday. Good. We don't need this shit. All right. DJT did pop, getting smacked right now. How's Apple? Apple, not doing much. Meta's picking up again. Man, I feel like I got out of those. I don't think it was a smart move when I dipped out of Meta. I think I was a little bit too early. I should have held. I should have had patience. I should have had perseverance. I should have seen the bigger picture, folks. I honestly should have. I should. I just didn't. And that's my fault. That is my fault. Damn. I messed up. I messed up on that meta play. I really did.
A determined demagogue.
Oh, wait, hang on. I thought I found things that I wanted to watch with all of you. Where was it? Oh, it's so funny of Chris Cuomo having to eat crow. This is funny.
Because I believe in it. I'll tell you something else that's going to get you a lot of hits. I am taking
who's about to swear.
What do they call it? Like a regular dose, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin. Ivermectin was a boogeyman early on in COVID.
You couldn't talk about it.
That was wrong. We were given bad information about ivermectin.
Yo, he literally ruined people's lives because they were supporting ivermectin.
Was right. No, Joe Rogan was saying, yeah, he was right. But that's not what matters. What matters is the entire clinical community knew that ivermectin couldn't hurt you. They knew it, Patrick. I know they knew it.
That's what they were saying.
Because now I'm doing nothing but talking to these clinicians who at the time were overwhelmed by COVID and they weren't saying anything. Not that they were hiding anything, but it's cheap, it's not owned by anybody, and it's used as an antimicrobial, antiviral in all of these different ways and has been for a long time.
For malaria for over almost 20 years.
Yeah. So, and my doctor, who is now my doctor, was using it during COVID on her family and on patients, and it was working for them. So they were wrong to play scared on that. Didn't know that at the time. Know it now. Admit it now. Reporting on it now. Because I think that's the job.
That would be the job.
People who are injecting
drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh, my God. What person? You know, you talk about, like, you know, cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer. Really?
They are shaming themselves.
Did they
no
do
one has
4
to shame
seconds
them.
of
They're
research
shaming
into
themselves,
this?
No, they need to be
by doing
shamed.
that. Yeah.
They need to be called out and shamed, brother.
People who are getting injecting.
Yeah, so that was something interesting that I wanted to share with all of you. We did that. Oh, there's one. Listen up. One of my favorite political insider traders. In November, Senator Tommy Tuberville, remember that name, was buying call options. So not just investing, but degenerately betting on it in a company called Louisiana Pacific. They manufacture lumber products. Tuberville is on the Senate committee for forestry. Louisiana Pacific, the thing he degenerately bet on, lumber products, he's on the committee for forestry. Today, all those call options rose 210% after the company released earnings. Tuberville has opposed legislation that would ban congressional stock trading. I wonder why, because he's making a lot of money. He said that it would cut down the number of people who wanted to serve. Dude, he doesn't want to serve. He wants to serve himself. He wants to line his own pockets. I get it. I'm well aware that Pelosi is a lot of your favorite political insider traders. This guy's my favorite. This guy is by far my favorite. Not only this one's a wild one because he's on the forestry. If you look at his trades, which have to be publicly reported with a certain delay, you can see that he's actually day traded corn futures. The way I trade the S&P 500 futures, the NASDAQ futures. This guy has been caught trading corn futures, as in day trading it. He's on the House Committee for Agriculture. The dude's on the ag committee and he's day trading corn futures. He's my idol, man. I have never seen a guy with such a sack of balls in his pants. Like, dude, that's next level. It's one thing when you're Pelosi and you're having your husband make really good, shrewd trades as he's hanging out with his like boyfriends and whatnot with the hammers and the underwear. But when you have the audacity to day trade corn futures sitting on the ag, that's another level. That is like absolutely another level. That's why he's my favorite. And I wanted to pitch that all to you, that he should be your favorite political insider trader as well. I know Nancy Pelosi, she gets all the accolades, she gets the medals, all that, but like, dude, he's my dark horse candidate for my favorite insider trader. By far. What was this one?
Straight people are getting too comfortable. I said what I said. Some things are not yours to talk about, joke about, or say. And you should go back to being deathly afraid of offending people. Straight people are getting...
That's a little gay. Just saying. That's a little gay. A little gay. Oh, options are so flat. Should I take my money? And run? It's coming down a little bit. But what if I miss the pop? What if I get out and then it rips? Oh, brother. Well, folks, I don't know what I'm going to do. What I know is I'm going to go hang out in the Discord. If you want to trade with me, if you want private lectures, if you want to learn advanced option trading, if you want to just hang out with a cool community of people, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, you can get in for the first month for free by using the code Goonie. You have nothing to lose. Check it out for a month. If it's for you, great. Stick around. If it's not for you, no harm, no foul. I completely understand. That's what I have for you. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for putting up with my shenanigans. I know most of you come in here to talk and discuss the most recent updates related to sharks, shark weeks, ranking our favorite sharks, the classic discussion of who would win in a fight, a hammerhead versus the tiger shark. I get that that's our normal talk. The fact that you allowed me to switch it up today to talk about the economy, the stock market, and degenerate trading, I appreciate it. Obviously, tomorrow we will be returning to Shark Talk. And by that, it's actually a joke because in reality, we actually have a specialty lecture tomorrow. If you are listening to this right now, wherever you're watching me, Rumble, YouTube, X, tomorrow morning, we are bringing on a specialty lecture of basically various option trading strategies that you could utilize right away. It is 100% free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to do anything. Literally where you're watching me right now, tomorrow morning, a free lecture on options trading strategies. 100% free, no signups, no gimmicks, nothing like that. Literally where you're watching me right now, just be here tomorrow morning and you're going to get a free lecture. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. You're not going to have to pay anything, 100% free. We're bringing in an expert from the options world, and he's going to be talking 2, 3, 4, 5 different option strategies. So hopefully you're able to learn a thing or two. That's what I have for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll post some content later on today, streaming again tomorrow, specialty lecture tomorrow. That's what I have for you. Peace out.